Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Tracy and I make faith-based content on this channel. Anyhow, you guys, so I wanted to first start off by saying Happy Canada Day for those of you who are watching from Canada. Happy Canada Day, and wishing you guys a blessed day, restful day. All right, so you guys, so I was in deep conversation and deep thought about the topic of this video. And before I even begin, I just want to say I am a person, I don't necessarily like cursing. I feel like it's one of those things that the Lord has been walking me through this journey of removing certain words from my vocabulary. Um, So I really strive not to use any type of curse words. However, there is a big however. You guys, it's where you're going to see my personality come out. Um, for this video, I just thought it was so fitting because we're going to talk about a few different things in this video. But the first point is you can't bullshit a bullshitter. Okay. So for you guys, like I said, I have been walking with the Lord for a few years. The Lord has been transforming my life, but not only transforming my life, but it's more so my character from the inside out. So I've always been a person, especially when I started this journey, and I had to start reflecting on myself, becoming aware of my own patterns of weaknesses, strengths, areas that I need to improve on. Really just dealing with myself. And for a few years, a lot came to the surface. And I can't even sit down here and say that I had liked everything that was coming up for me, that the Lord was showing me that I needed to pay attention to. I was one, especially when I was younger, I was one that I just wanted to bury my head in the sand, um, or quote unquote kick the can down the road. Like, if it's something I don't have to deal with right now, I'm not going to deal with it. That's just how I was. Until there came a point where the Lord was like, no, you're going to deal with it. You have to stop running. It's not even so much from your problems because it's really the problems that you are creating. So stop running from yourself. That's literally these past few years, these past 7 years, the Lord has been really getting me to understand, yeah, you're going to deal with yourself. So even when I started walking with the Lord, I had no clue that the transformation process would be like this. I had no clue that it would be so intense. I had no clue that there would be moments where, yeah, guess what? I didn't like myself. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror, and it was fine because there's so much grace with the Lord. Because it's not that the Lord is trying to tell you to change who you are completely, or it's not like the Lord wants you to feel bad or feel guilty or feel shame or condemnation for who you are, because the Lord created you. So the Lord knows exactly who you are. The Lord knows your little quirks. The Lord knows your personality. The Lord knows what's going to get through to you. And it was one of those things I had to learn, right? But also, that being said, there's some things also that, guess what? There's some things that's just, yeah, we got to sit down. We got to work on this a little bit. We got to work on it. It's not to say everything about you is bad, but there's some things that that need some refinement, let's just say. And in that refinement process, what I've been going through these last 7 years, coming out of it, and now I can see the transformation. I could see what God has been doing in my life. I can see because I feel it internally, even how I react to certain things, how I step to certain things, how I present myself, how I start to think, how I'm starting to think differently and see things differently. That's how I know that there has been a change. There has been a transformation from the inside. And then also with that, There's behavioral components as well too. So I'm not going to get into everything in all in this video because it's going to be a series of videos, a series of different things that I tackle. But the behavioral issues also changes along the way too. And when I talk about behavioral, that means things that's not conducive to me. When you read the Bible, understanding, okay, some things are just detrimental to you, some things are for your good, some things are just, I guess, sinful in nature. And even sinful nature, it just really means that it's not in alignment with God. It's not in alignment where God wants you to be. It's not in alignment where God created you to be. So anything that is not in alignment with God, if you're missing the mark, that's also what sin is. And there's just certain behavioral things that also needed to be addressed, right? Like I said, we're going to get into that in other videos. But one of the things, like I said, trying to circle back to the original topic, one of the things that the Lord brought to my attention, which it was quite shocking for me. And like I said, I'm coming out of it on this after 7 years, but now I'm actually reflecting. I'm now able to talk about certain things. I'm now able to share the wisdom and share what I've learned along the way too with you guys, right? So one of the things that the Lord brought to my attention was that I was playing a particular role. I was playing the quote unquote nice girl, nice person, helper, peacekeeper, and all those things are good. It's not to say that it's a bad thing. It's good. There were also parts of me also that I had learned from growing up and starting life. I had also learned to mask certain parts of myself. Um, I've heard so many terms along the way. You can call it code switching, whatever. But I learned how to do that. And you can say that I was in survival mode for most of my life, from childhood to now. And that is something that I learned how to do, picking up different masks, playing this nice person. And it's not to say that I wasn't nice, but it's how I was using it. And I didn't even realize that I was using it in a detrimental way. And it's not that it was detrimental to others, because what I've learned, others benefited tremendously from being this quote unquote nice person. But I wasn't benefiting from it. I was actually causing a lot of damage to myself. But I learned from observation, from going through life, that if I played it safe, if I played it nice, if I did everything what I'm supposed to do, if I show up, be helpful to others, then that's going to be a way that I get my needs met. That worked for me, like I said, in childhood, that worked for me in my early adulthood. And it was something even in these last 7 years that the Lord had to sit me down and had to deal with me. Because what I've learned also, especially when you go into situations where you observe your surroundings, you observe people, you observe and you are very attuned and aware of what the needs of others are, you then now put on the mask. Okay, I'm a helper. I could be helpful in this situation. I could be useful for this person in this way. Okay, what do you need? Right, you know what? I'm feeling tired, but guess what? I'm gonna still be that person that just pulls up. So another person you can count on. How else does it look like? It overgiving. When I know I don't necessarily have, but I'm still giving because I want to also be looked at as the helpful person, as the nice person, as a person that's always going to be there. And the thing is, I actually am that person. I am naturally. So when I started coming into the awareness that this also was detrimental to me because I found myself being burned out. I found myself feeling depleted. And then it was only when I got to the point that I was so resentful, kind of bordering on bitterness. And we're going to talk about these key topics in other videos. That's when the Lord had to deal with me. The Lord showed up and was like, all right, are you finally done now? Are you finally done? So you give, 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 give. You want to be nice, 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 nice. You don't want to stand up for yourself because you want to be known as, the person that's not confrontational, because you've learned along the way that if you speak up, you're going to get in trouble. If you speak up, somebody else is not going to like what you have to say. If you speak up, you now then have to stand on what you're saying. And so for me, I didn't like confrontation. I didn't like it. I've learned that, yeah, maybe it's best to stand down. So now, when I found myself feeling hurt, resentful, bitter, because now I feel like nobody's seeing the amount of effort that I'm putting in, nobody's showing up for me. Everybody gets to have a say except for Tracy. And when I do want to say something, it's somebody has a problem, and now I'm apologizing, over apologizing, trying to overgive, overextend myself to make the other person now feel comfortable because there's some discomfort. I also was the person that, anytime I felt some type of tension, I don't want anybody to feel it. So yeah, when I finally got to the end of myself, and unfortunately I had to come through, you guys, this is me being honest, but unfortunately I had to come through, you know, my last relationship ending after 10 years, after my ex walking out, not saying that he was leaving, up and left me with the two kids, figure things out. And then, you know what? It took some time, but I realized it was a blessing. It was a blessing, and it was exactly what I needed. Did I feel that at the time? Gosh, no. Absolutely not. I didn't feel it at the time. But it was a necessary ending. And it was almost as if God was telling me, this is the ending of you operating, showing up in how you are. You're not benefiting from this. You're not helping anybody, especially not yourself. So it was a humbling moment. But with that, it's a process to unlearn that. It's a process to even accept that, wait, hold on, it was me. I was like that. I was that person. I was the quote unquote nice person. I was the quote unquote person that is bullshitting her way through life, trying to be everything to everybody because I see a need that you have, because I want to be liked, because I want people to accept me, because I want to feel valued. I want to feel as though I have a sense of purpose. I'm telling you, straight bullshitting. Again, forgive me, you guys. Forgive me for the cursing. But, like I said, there's so much grace with the Lord, because once I had to sit with myself and realize, oh, this is what I'm doing, you now get to choose. You now get to choose. It's not like the Lord's going to force you to choose, but the Lord put me through other examples after that breakup, just so I can become even more aware of just how detrimental it was, even to my health, to my mental sanity, to my emotional capacity. And I'm telling you, very humbling moment. Very, very humbling moment. Um, yeah, to actually even accept that I've been causing, I've been part. It's not to say that I'm not going to negate what other people have done to you if they've come in and they've taken advantage and they've abused the situation or misused it and mishandled me. Like, yeah, that's one thing. But the other part of that is me. I've had to learn also that, wait, hold on, nobody can come in and treat you like that if you don't allow that. So again, it's a process because the Lord had to show me to myself. I had to learn about boundaries. Um, Gosh, was it painful? Um, yeah, yeah. And once I made that decision that I actually wanted to change this, and that's another process that the Lord takes you on, because now you're now are in situations, you are now encountering people that is going to challenge you. You're going to have to say no. You're going to have to stand up for yourself. You're going to have to fight for yourself. I like to say, like, fight for the little girl, like the little boy in you. You're going to have to do that. That's part of the process, part of unlearning and learning, and God's trying to strengthen you up and get you to keep choosing the better path, not letting people walk all over you, but also for you, like, put that down, put that mask down, stop being there for others all the time. Not to say that it's a bad thing, but again, it goes back to why you're doing it. What's in your heart? Is there something that's within yourself that you're lacking that you need to pay attention to? So I had to do that. And I might tell you, like, I keep saying, it's a humbling process. Oh Lord, humbling, lots of tears, lots of tears. Oh my goodness. I felt like for the first time, I felt like I was breaking my own heart. As much as I wanted to say at that time that people were doing things to me, I realized, no, I broke my own heart. And this is where, I'm telling you, it's only the strength of the Lord that got me through. Because when those intense feelings of guilt and shame, condemnation come on, man, it is like a cloud, and it feels like downpour, a downpour of rain on you. And you feel like, what have I done? What have I allowed? What have I done to myself? Didn't even recognize myself. That was, again, that started the process of trying to figure out, who am I if I am not the nice girl, nice person, helper, rescuer, the person that's always there for everyone. If I'm not that person, who am I? And God took me through another process of filling me back up with His Word, pouring back into me, reminding me of who I am, reminding me of who God created me to be, my identity. I'm so grateful and so thankful to that, because it is through God's Word that's what helped me get through the dark times. And I think for years I was running from that because I didn't want to face myself, um, until the point where just, you can't outrun. You can't outrun yourself. At some point in time, you got to choose. You got to choose that you're going to want to change. You got to choose that you want to put yourself in the hot seat. See yourself. And the beauty of this is that we have a creator that loves us. We have a creator that has purpose for us. We have a creator that knows all things. Don't think for a second God didn't know that you would get to this point. But how God is God already goes ahead of you. And God knows the plan. God knows how to get back to you. God knows how to rescue you. God knows how to pull you back to Him. if you allow that. And that's what I did. That's what I chose. So I want to say, because I'm going to be so honest with you guys, was it years of walking through the valley of the shadow of death? Yeah. It wasn't the complete 7 years. Um, but yeah, for a lot of it, it was. And now, even that I'm coming through it and I'm stepping into a different season of restoration and vindication and blessings. And again, other videos for another time. But I am so grateful for the process. So grateful. Because then guess what now? Because I recognized what I was doing. And you can call that because the Lord had to also teach me about psychology, and I had to learn different things, even about growing up in like dynamics of narcissism and personality traits and just different things, just so I can understand, right? Um, and like I said, this is where I'm being honest, because trying to portray yourself to be the nice person is also manipulative. It's a way of you trying to get your needs met, but it's not the authentic way to do it. There's a better way to do it. And God had to sit me down and deal with that. So I got that. But now, as we're here now, and the Lord's been working on me, refining me, putting through many different tests, um, removing all the things that is not beneficial to me or to others up out of my life, burning it up completely. But it's not to say that I don't remember who I was. It's not to say that all of a sudden those memories go away. No, I like to look at it like a database. There's a database inside of me. I know exactly what I used to do. So when it comes to other people coming along and trying to finesse the system, trying to pull a fast one over you, over me, bullshit their way to get their way, this is where I'm going to say the Lord is so good, because even you are not above the program. You are not above God. So you see, as God has taken me through this refinement process, God has poured his wisdom into me. I have a level of discernment. But with that, I get spotted, because I also know I used to be that way. I used to operate that way. I also know when things are not genuine. So, the same way how God used my past, used the things that I was ashamed of at one point in time, God is actually using that to turn it around and use it for his glory. So now I can actually come on here, make this video, encourage you guys to keep moving forward, keep pressing on. I know the refinement process, whoever is going through this, is hard, but you're going to make it through. And God wastes nothing, even that. So now I know I'm still this nice person. I'm still caring, giving, loving person, because that's all from God. It's not from me, all from God. But now this parameters, this boundaries is a way of how I do things. It's a way of how I show up now. And it's not just to get my needs met. It's not about that. It's not about that. God wants me to be completely transparent and open and vulnerable and truthful. And I've learned that. But that being said, we also are not going to try to bullshit a former bullshitter, because we could see it We could spot it, we could sense it a mile away. You don't even have to say anything. My eye starts twitching if I pick up on certain things. My whole energy, my whole disposition will change. The Lord will will put something on my spirit where I feel it. So again, I feel the intentions before somebody says anything. And like I said, don't even despise your refinement process because you don't even know how God's getting the glory throughout all of that. You don't even know. But all that being said, trust how God is taking you through your journey. Trust God, trust the process, because the level of discernment that you will get after it's all completely done is golden. Golden, I'm telling you. Because like I said, the Lord reveals things to me, whether it's through dreams, little downloads, little messages I hear in my own spirit, and I am thankful for it. I am thankful for the time that I spent with the Lord. I am thankful for the teaching and the outpouring of God's love into me. I am thankful for God's correction. So for you guys, on this day, this beautiful day, take this message with lots of encouragement. Do not despise your journey. Don't despair. It's going to get better. I know as you're going through it, it is rough, but it's for your good. It is absolutely for your good. I truly believe that, you guys. So trust in God. So on this beautiful day, you guys, share your comments, share your likes. You guys, let me know if you guys are going through anything, how I can help you guys, how I can help you with encouragement. Send me a quick message in the chat. I'll respond. But you guys, take this message with a lot of love, a lot of encouragement. With love, you guys.